team fighting comps, if we're talking about Weibo Gaming going for a different direction, maybe that starts with Angel here in the second phase.
Yeah, I kind of expected that maybe with the already banned away since you took Lysandra, that maybe Weibo would be the team looking towards something like a Swain with the limited range on the side of WE, but no, banning it out themselves. I'm curious to see what Weibo are thinking in terms of a mid. Angel has played the Ahri, the Zoe, the Orianna, and the Swain. But I think it would have been nice to have that strong early power spike come out with the mandate, have that team fight prowess able to come through.
True. So the big question, right? What direction do they go? I think with 15 seconds left to go, we can kind of contemplate what Weibo Gaming want to do here. No, stop. Oh, wait.
Please do it. Please do it. Please.
It's such a flex. Like, would the...
It was going to be... I was ready for the Shy's Kalista, man.
Yeah.
The Shy's Kalista 2020, that was... Seeing Puff never allowed to pick this champion, despite it being his most played in solo queue by far to earn the Shy's respect, and then never end up doing it. Depressing, but we're not going to get to see the Shy's Kalista today, which it would be blind. It would be absolutely crazy, but you never can put that too far out of the realm of possibility for the Shy. Azir just going to come on through and give Angel a champion that he's very comfortable with and has played for a very long time. And WE going to answer back with the Corki. I mean, heck, this is something that Shanks had some, admirable performances on back when it was in the meta.
Yeah. But we do get Azir versus Corki, and I think all viewers are going to be like, what year is it? We always return back. It's always full circle.
You know what's the best part about it? I remember seeing in a Reddit thread, one of our post games the other day, someone saying like, thank God the LPL isn't just like doing Azir versus Corki or any of these shenanigans with the durability update. It's like, here we go, baby. We've had champion diversity. Now we get to take a step back to the Azir. Corki, Gnar, once again locked in for BiuBiu. Weibo, I mean, Jay's still open, and you still do have lots of, poke able to come out from the Azir in the mid lane. You can still win out in that 1v1 matchup, so they're just going to opt into it once again. You have your frontline tank this time on the Nautilus, and I feel like Weibo are sitting a little bit more comfortable, but WE still having tools to answer with those large rockets that are going to come out from Shanks later on.
Yeah, I mean, again, you already talked about Shanks' comfort there. Very curious to see if Weibo Gaming can kind of reflect on that second game. Do have a more aggressive lane, as you talk about in the 2v2 and down in the bottom lane. And the 2v2 has been quite impactful. So, yeah, here's the Weibo Gaming finding an answer, and maybe the Smlz and Heal once again dominating that 2v2. Because in game 2, if you're just tuning in now, it was an absolute stomp because that bottom lane took care of business from level 2. Found the lead that won WE the game.
Yeah, and I feel like we're going to need to see Weibo pivot. Weibo are going to need to put resources into their bot lane. They're going to make sure that this Lucian Nami can't just do whatever they want. We know WE's bot lane is going to be playing very aggressively, so SofM's going to have to interact more. Angel should be able to get some prio in early levels and maybe Shadow. Level 6 is when mid becomes a bit dicier because you do have those long-range rockets to come out and just be an annoyance to Angel and just very easily clear the wave, but SofM specifically, I feel like we need to see him covering more for bot side, making sure Beishang can't do what he did last time around, just making his way around the wave, zoning them off turret, and then setting Smlz up for an easy carry game.
Yeah, I mean, Beishang had a really clean game number 2, and kind of what we expected in the past of Beishang. He's a great... I was going to say he's a great father-like figure, but I feel like the father story is already on the top side, so maybe I don't use the words in that series, but Beishang was once a top 3 jungler. Beishang was someone who was so reliable for WE. Coming into the third game, that Trundle can be reliable, as we saw in the last one. So welcome back. Lyric, once again, let's talk a little bit about Weibo Gaming's composition, and then we can transition back over. You mentioned how there are similarities there, but Angel on the Azir this time around, we get a bit more of that range, we get a pause, everything's different.
Yeah, I feel like looking at Weibo's comp overall is, again, that they just index more into 5v5s than they did before, considering that they do have, again, like this tanky champion in bot lane who can start up fights, who Huanfeng can just throw in, and he doesn't have to worry about, how we've seen, again, the Renatus opting to go in all day long and just getting bursted out. You have more DPS coming out from the mid lane in the Azir than the Ahri was able to provide. So at least when it comes to grouping up around neutrals, this Weibo Gaming comp is way more competent than we've seen, I think, the past few Weibo picked up.
Yeah, very, very true. I mean, again, kind of fits the identity we know. Weibo Gaming have been this kind of team fighting team that we thought, oh, well, the early game a little bit stagnant. WBG were known as like, late game will come through. Late game, their coordination much better because they were having a lot of issues with SofM, with TheShy. Even though TheShy has been playing well, there's, I don't know, coordination. Coordination's what I always say.
I was going to say, yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where it's not even like I necessarily think of Weibo as like a late game team fighting team or anything along those lines. It's just that they're so disconnected in terms of like, again, you don't see a lot of like lane to lane pressure transfer. Like if there's a push in top or mid or something, I don't expect to see them roam too heavily as compared to other laners like Xiaohu, for example. And then SofM just not, he's not someone like Karsa who is just going to be like, I'm going to gank and I'm going to gank and I'm going to gank. And you know what? I'm going to gank some more. So it just kind of leaves them open to where it's like, well, since you're not connecting anything early, neutral timers are just such like obvious windows of like, hey, this is a dragon or this is a herald. We must fight for this or we must group. That it's kind of the only thing that connects the members of Weibo together.
Yeah, I know. It's really hard. That's why Weibo Gaming, there's a lot of suspicion on this team as to where they'll actually place because they don't feel like a top 4 team, maybe a top 6, but in the grand scheme of things, where do they sit in the top 10? Lyric, that's not important right now. As we are in a pause, I want to do what I tried to do with Dagda all that time ago and didn't get to. What arcane character are you?
Okay.
Question 1 of 18. Choose a hobby that you have. Knitting, martial arts, baking, playing instruments, skating, and that's how you get out of a pause, folks. It is the double act, and it works every single time.
It'll never let us do it. I want to do it. It sounds like fun.
It does sound like fun, but I'm okay with getting back into the game, and Shanks is going to get a rude awakening here to the game number 3. Peekaboo, dredge line, the flash away. That was an inch too close. I actually don't know how Shanks got away with that.
That was like, holy cow, that was just on the millisecond of when it needed to be, right? On even played it, you know, flashes in to connect the CC with his passive proc first so he can guarantee the hook to follow up. But Shanks, with those fast fingers, again, the second the CC was over, hitting that key. So nice see from him not going down, but still, coming out for Weibo, you get a flash mid, and you're able to cut the jungle in half, steal away this red buff. But look at the minimap. Beishang's actually making his way over to fight with SofM.
Level 2 wants a duel, but speaking of duels, look at the bottom lane. Ignites down onto On. He's ticking away too. Smlz and Heal. Their trade is going to be nothing against them. Weibo Gaming once again losing out in the 2v2.
Also, it looks like Beishang flashed on SofM. Both of their flashes are down as well. So 2 minutes into the game, ton of action coming out across the board. Angel now going to be able to keep up a lot of pressure. We hit on Azir early on in this matchup. Typically should be able to get pressure anyway. Very easy to just put your soldiers in the wave, as we're going to see here, of, just forcing SofM out.
So he gets a red buff.
I think, got red buff. So overall, still comfortable start for the side of Weibo. We are going to see SofM now end up on the top side of the map just because that is where his camps are. But still, so will Beishang. So at least a lot less worry coming out on the bottom half of the map this time around. And heck, Huanfeng and On have been able to guarantee themselves with the early push with the trades they've been going for, because Lucian Nami's lane not really coming on to such strong power once you get the full combo, able to come out level 1. Definitely not able to do super well against the Kalista and the Nautilus. So nice to see more stability come out for Weibo in the first few minutes.
Yeah, despite the early trade we saw there where Huanfeng and On got beaten out pretty nicely. Note there is a pot lead here for Smlz and Heal, so they do have a bit more to play with, but as you already mentioned, stability is the one word I would use. I want to pull it back and talk a little bit about what we're seeing in the jungle, though, because with SofM's camps and what you see on your screen, he's already up. Why is math so hard? 8 CS. Hey, we got it. And he's got a lot of camps to go through, Lyric. So SofM once again in a CS lead, but this time much earlier on.
Yeah, just being able to find that one camp advantage was so huge. Now, I'm keeping my eyes on if Beishang going to wrap around to be able to find that bot lane Scuttle Crab before SofM can. Both junglers are already heading down. W are the ones who have pressure in bot, but their bot lane's already recalled. So I think this should just set up for Weibo to potentially be able to get this one.
Oh, okay. SofM going to take it immediately. The wave as it pushes in the bottom side. Just note we saw on our screens Huanfeng picking up the CS, so he's marginalized, in fact equaled onto Smlz. SofM being a bit of a pain. This is what he does. He loves invading. And the smite difference going to be big. Beishang, he's got one of his own, but remember, level 3 versus level 4. Now Heal's coming in, and SofM takes it. He has no flash to get away from this one, and Angel still hasn't moved, but luckily enough, they can't lock him down, and SofM gets away with camp monster murder once again, which is like real murder.
I love that he's going for it as well. He knows he has a level advantage. He also has red buff still because he just went and picked up his own. Beishang never had a red buff, so SofM just overall utilizing the tools and the advantages he has, trying to bully out Beishang and cook some chicken down in the bottom side. So for Weibo, I mean, on top of, we've hit on the early game already, but having, I think, a much more... I don't just like using the term easy, right? But having something that feels more potent in 5v5s with having more DPS in mid and with having this engage support coming out, at least feels like they have a lot of things going for them as TheShy, once again, you're just going to be able to bully BiuBiu.
BiuBiu must be getting sick of playing this Gnar and just going, well, I'm not going to get to play the lane whatsoever. Third game in a row where TheShy has hit this little yordle right where it hurts. BiuBiu down 10 CS, TheShy forcing out his TP. And it continues to be a bit of a bloodbath up in that top side. There's no blood that's been spared, shed, English hard in this game, but it might actually lead up to it as in the bottom side. SofM is moving in and Heal's already burning his flash. Dredge line a bit deep under the turret. On has to flash away himself, but Smlz burning both summoners. On gets away with a slither of his life, but Weibo Gaming have woken up in this third game, and SofM the one to do it.
Yeah, Weibo winning out heavily in the bot lane trade. Nice sidestep by Heal to make sure he doesn't die, right? If he got hit by that hook, he definitely would have gone down, but does sidestep it. And SofM showing us exactly what we wanted to see. We said, hey, we need to see more attention put down towards your bottom lane this time around, considering we do have Lucian versus Kalista, two champions who do play quite aggressively in the early stages. Make sure the Nami Lucian can't get ahead, because then it does feel quite rough. They will hit their power spike still once you hit the Gale Force, because Gale Force mandate is just so much burst. Even if you aren't like massively ahead, there's potential to just one-shot your target with Lucian Gale Forcing in with the buffs coming from Nami, but still not where you'd like to be when typically, again, this lane is just so powerful. And SofM is going to keep taking camps and small objectives right in Beishang's face.
And he's huge. You expect when someone only plays Viego with his 8th game now in the split, that SofM would have pop-off performances like this. 50 to 33 CS. It started in the early game. It started with that invade. And SofM has been building off of it ever since. Going back for the invade again. I mean, this is a KFC sponsorship if I've ever seen it. SofM is turning into the Colonel. He's even got white hair on the champion.
I just love that he's going for it. This is something we've talked about a lot over the past few days in terms of playing more for jungle when it's harder to do things in lanes. And SofM
has to ult out of there. Just got the Heartbreaker off of the chicken camp, but On is still here, rearing for the engage. Smite available for SofM. Beishang doesn't have his own. Smite comes early, but On picks up the red buff. At least it goes to Weibo Gaming.
Yeah, those 2v2 trades from the Nautilus are going to hit hard.
Yeah.
Weibo all-inning on the 2v2. Huanfeng now picking up his ult as well. Heck, we're 10 seconds away from Dragon. Not from Dragon, I'm sorry, from Rift Herald. You have pushed down in bot side. I mean, Weibo are just using the fact that they have pressure in mid and bot like very fluidly, constantly going for these rotations to take things away from the side of WE. And looks like WE expecting Weibo to look for the Rift Herald or attacking bot lane.
Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. On has the red buff and it starts ticking away, but Huanfeng already burning the flash. The Fate's call to save his support. On blocking the rest of the damage, which was nice. Unfortunately, Beishang's pillar doesn't get them displaced, so Weibo Gaming's bottom lane getting attacked and finally giving some leverage to Smlz in here.
Yeah, we see WE still going to commit hard for this invade, considering that SofM's on the Rift Herald on the top side.
I don't like
but
this.
Angel trying to make his way around.
And he has ult as well. Sends Heal back right into On, and the first blood, easy as you like for Huanfeng. Beishang chasing up Angels. Huanfeng is not attacking the Trundle. They've abandoned their mid laner, but Smlz getting chipped away by the Rend, while Shanks now tickling On. That's going to hurt as Shanks
so
over the wall. The Rend once again. Huanfeng darts over. He'll get it with a triple kill, but Beishang gets him back. 3 for 3 on the scoreboard, but once again, big Kalista Gaming.
Yeah, big Kalista. Still, though, I mean, Weibo were able to trade even in a situation where they were down in numbers, able to find the initial pick before the Corki was able to make his way over. Angel putting himself in harm's way with this ultimate by pushing in Heal. Instantly has to flash out. And like you said, Huanfeng and On are like, sorry, bro, we're going for the kill onto Smlz. They take him down. Angel dies on the opposite side, and then able to commit in a 2v1 to make sure that Shanks goes down, flashes away, but Huanfeng able to hop over the wall to make sure this one happens. And again, it ended up being an even trade because what was a 3v3 or like, let's say a 4v3, Weibo just turned into a bunch of like 1v2s or, you know, things where they had numbers by splitting up the fight, focusing down a member, and ultimately they got the Herald on top of it.
Which is going to be big. And when you have Huanfeng, who's now 3-1 with an immortal shield bow at 10 minutes in the game, I'm getting those Smlz Game 2 vibes once again. A very big Kalista, TheShy who's doing well in his lane. I think it's worth mentioning that for WE, the trade-off where the kills went for them was Shanks picking up one, but Beishang getting 2 of his own, and he needed it considering he was down 30 CS in the jungle at this 10-minute mark.
Yeah, I mean, we just see leads coming out everywhere. Even though there's no CS lead in mid, Angel's consistently bullied out Shanks, even forcing him to buy a Hex Drinker this early on in the game, which could really delay his spike. And now they're going to be looking for a dragon, but Beishang's in the area, and Shanks, I believe, picked up his package.
Angel was moving down to help SofM, but he's pulled off the dragon. Package is there, and SofM wants to reel it out. But you can see the rest of WE are moving up river. This could be a bit of a pinch if Huanfeng and On don't get in soon. And with the wave at the turret, looks like WE trying to pull that window out, but we reset, we go back to square one.
Yeah, for WE, they would love to force a fight just for the fact that they have the package. For Weibo, you're trying to posture, time that out, and then you feel more comfortable looking for a fight. So that's why we're seeing WE now hard force this dragon, so they can try and find an opportune moment to use that package.
I like that you talked about timing out Shanks here. He's now moved into range, and Weibo Gaming have been biding their time. That package getting close as Angel and On move in. It's secured by WE, the second dragon of the game, but the package lines down the middle of the fight, and SofM and Huanfeng is zoned out. Aqua Prison not connecting, and that's great for Weibo Gaming.
Oh, Angel!
As Angel sends him sky high. Meet the Lord and his holy messenger. Angel's here to stay, and chasing on up this fight is doomed for WE. Blessed be the mid laner of Weibo Gaming.
I even love on the minimap, TheShy rotates mid, pushes that wave in to deny WE even more, losing out on golden experience. We'll get up back to top side in time to take that one. And, I mean, Weibo, we've hit on it, right? The early game so far being very nice. I was surprised they were opting into posturing for that one when Corki did have the package. Just having believed that they're able to take this fight. We see On getting caught out, but they do have the ultimate to take him away. Gets thrown back in immediately, and then keep your eyes on Angel's huge ultimate onto 3 people, and then able to follow up with the DPS from the soldiers to come through. Huanfeng also dashing around the whole fight and able to get a huge amount of damage off. And just look how low this mid lane turret is. And oh no,
here we go.
On an SofM.
The package this time, no flash available as well. They want to punish it and keep the momentum going because Lyric, it's an almost 4K gold lead at 12, 13 minutes into the game. SofM continues claiming ownership to Beishang's jungle. It doesn't matter that Beishang gets return kills or that he's now 3-1. SofM lives here. He's like that guy that just won't get off the couch. I know you and I have been watching BoJack Horseman back in Ireland. He's literally Todd.
So who's peanut butter? Who's Mr. Peanut Butter?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's Angel. You know, always positive, just keep on trucking. He's Mr. Consistent, right? Same character in and out, doesn't really change that much. Feels to be
I feel
Angel
like SofM has to be BoJack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Why? Because he's self-deprecating. You know,
I don't know, he just
sometimes it's wrong.
I feel like his facial expression just says big BoJack energy, which I feel like calling someone BoJack could be an insult, but I remember Joe like vehemently disagreed with me, and I'm like, dude, BoJack is an idol. Like that's just
Well, we'll see. Look in the bottom lane. Huanfeng is 4-0, and Smlz, he'll feel it in a second with the other Fed member coming in. Heal flashes off a cooldown once again. Weibo Gaming seeing Beishang will pull back with the health bars low. And with Weibo Gaming having Huanfeng here, it might just be enough to threaten the turret.
Yeah, they're going to keep going as well. You have Huanfeng's ult available. SofM as well, sitting on top of his. You have push in mid, so it'd be very easy to just start bringing Angel down now. Heck, he might even just take mid lane turret right now with how much he's chunking out Shanks.
Oh no, well that was a bit of a doozy. On dredge lined into a pillar. He won't be able to get away though. And yeah, looking at mid, Angel's able to do that because As back comes through, Angel's got the wave prepping up. Good eyes there, Lyric, because Weibo Gaming going to get so much on the map, and SofM sticking around, being the nuisance, TheShy, able to push in this next wave as well. It's all going right, and when it's come to this final game, Weibo Gaming have finally switched back on. And now the dive's actually commencing. They've stuck around so long as Beishang subjugates. SofM just wants to kill. It's a two-man knock-up on Honest. Huanfeng juggles the aggro, but it's a little messy, if I dare say. As we go on to heal, he dodges through. Huanfeng doesn't juggle. It's SofM who picks it up, and Weibo Gaming will take that 3 for 1. Excuse me, Trey.
And they've taken top turret. They took mid turret. They're going to take this one as well. They're denying, again, a whole ton of farm, seat-like experience and gold on the map. And they're just pushing their lead further and further. I mean, their lanes have naturally been winning out, but still the fact that SofM is actually hovering, is actually shadowing and giving them attention so they can't be caught off guard by Beishang feels like it has been the difference maker this time around. As we're going to see here, the engage come through. They're able to lock him down. His flash almost buys him enough time as SofM isn't able to connect with the Heartbreaker, but still on comes back in. You're able to get the possession. And it's very easy for SofM to be like, hey, I'll be the one tanking turret, then able to get away with the reset.
3-0-3. It's worth mentioning his score every time we come out of the replay. He's just farming up a storm.
I just want to ask you, why did Weibo do this? Why did Weibo win game 1 decisively, go into game 2, a little bit XD, and then decide to come in game 3, you know, with a fire lit under them, huh?
Maybe because Huanfeng wanted to play a Felios. Maybe he really wanted to play it. Hey, TheShy's deep. That's a flash burn. Now, SofM dealing with BiuBiu. That's going to be a big one soon. As he turns into Gnar, BiuBiu can't do much else. Is on, finds a hook once again, onto heal. He doesn't have the re anymore, but he definitely doesn't have the heal in this game. 10-5, Weibo Gaming keep finding picks, and it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, they're going to be able to break down mid-tier 2 now. Dragon's up. We're so far away from Sol, though I feel like Weibo could probably end this game confidently before that one comes up, considering they're breaking this one down. They have good siege tools coming in with the Azir as well as the Jayce. I mean, heck, this push on mid right now is pulling all the members down. SofM!
Yeah, this is a deep dive.
What?
Down he goes. Now, SofM, that is not uncharacteristic as the culling almost takes down On, and BiuBiu's about to evolve. Angel now stuck in the middle, and BiuBiu, as he chases through, wants yet another. SofM is consistent.
You have no one showing on top wave. You have TheShy who is pushing. Will be able to guarantee that tower if you don't go for the dive. You lose nothing. You gain a tower. You gain a dragon. What an interesting call.
Yeah.
This is what we'll call it. Coming out from Weibo.
As I said, is nothing if not consistent. SofM full of surprises.
You know, I love it. I saw a tweet, Kelsey Moser, when we were on break, where it said, yeah, I feel like people just call players consistent when they don't have anything good to say about them, but they don't die much.
True.
And I thought, absolutely true. I guess that's not the only reason. It could go the opposite way. They could die a lot, and we call them consistent. We're like, look at that guy. He went down again. Mr. Consistent.
TheShy last year, so consistent. You know, like TheShy in his career, consistent. TheShy, I'm pretty sure he still has more deaths than kills. That's a really hard stat to change because it was 100 over when I last checked, which was last year. And I'll do a bit of checking now because, guys, this game feels pretty done. You know, it's in the toilet to be so crude. And WE Lyric, again, it's another game where I'm not going to ask you what they do to come back in the game. Instead, I'm going to look at Weibo Gaming and their expectations for this split because they'll be 2-1 if they find the win here. But Weibo, I don't know. I think they're one of the most questionable teams for me because they dropped a game to Invictus Gaming and they feel like they're like an 8th, 9th, 10th team in some of these games, but then look like a top 4 in others.
They definitely feel like a team is all paused, but Angel should be fine, I think. Oh no, bringing in everyone.
Okay, but the turret's there, so he's got the backup. Shanks on top will lay the package, but another good ulti. Angel flashing away, he ticks down though. Shanks had to.
I just can't believe they committed package for that. You could just TP him anyway without the package, and you're for sure going to kill him. Just, I don't know, man. That was great. I love it. I love it. Triple down. Who cares? 3 hands up in the air at this point. Just have a good time, and Weibo now going to break open the base.
That's what it costs.
At the cost of Angel's life.
Yeah. It costs quite a lot. And, you know, Shanks just wanted the kill. Maybe it was a bit of revenge, considering that they know this game feels so far done. At the very least, you lose to inhibitors. That's free money if you're an optimist.
You know, earlier you said you want to ask me how they come back in. I thought you were going to pivot it back to the Arcane topic. But if we're not going to pivot back to the Arcane survey, I could point out that Weibo, I mean, both these teams have interesting next matchups in very different ways. Weibo going to play against RNG. So, again, going to be a big test. RNG obviously looking a little bit shaky in their debut against FPX, but still able to eke out with a win. Will still be a hard test. And for WE, it's reverse. WE have to play against TT, another team who's coming in. Bit of a rebuild.
Okay.
Is honestly, okay, they get a kill.
What?
What do they do now?
Well, maybe this is how they come back in. SofM, the hidden tactic. I just don't know what to say, Lyric. I don't know how to cast this one. They didn't prepare us for this.
I was trying to sales pitch WETT.
Oh.
But, you know what? We can do that another day.
We can. SofM died again, and after what a great game he's had as TheShy on top of BiuBiu. I guess, again, consistent the right word.
Oh.
Good kite
He
back.
lives.
Yeah, BiuBiu able to get out thanks to Gnar, but you know, TheShy is still massive. He has been playing versus minions all game long. TheShy is a 0-0 agent. 2-2-2 is his score as well. He likes repetition and has just been constantly farming all game long.
Yo, but BiuBiu with that prime consistency, yo.
Okay.
Nothing good to say, but he didn't die.
There you go. I also, in this short time as well.
It's actually just true.
It is. Well, I mean, everyone else is burnt down. As Weibo going to start up the Baron here. I want to say TheShy, his deaths are there. 187 deaths, more than kills is TheShy. So let's see if he can rack a few kills up. As Baron looks to be flipped here with an early smite coming through, but the Rend relied on. Weibo Gaming backing away, looked to turn, but at 2.8k, Beishang is turned on. TheShy jumps in, flashes over so he doesn't die, but he's out of there for now. With Weibo Gaming looking to end this one, but the health bar's still going down. Now Smlz gets first kill. WE relying on Shanks a bit here as Huanfeng needs to rend out again, but Angel, man, okay, consistent the word for this guy as he once again scoops them all up.
Yeah, I'll just say big play. Angel coming out, setting up Huanfeng with the damage, and Weibo now gonna finally be able to end this one.
And Lyric, I can't believe I'm gonna say this. It must be a new year, a new meta, a new split. TheShy didn't die in a competitive game of League of Legends. And with that,
Or get a kill.
Weibo Gaming shock us, amaze us. That series, a definite must win for us to question more.
I mean, again, just TheShy, no death, but no kill either. Like, literally neither one. That just feels so not TheShy. But you're right. I mean, at the end of the day, right, Weibo able to bring it together. They did have quite a dominant game one. And then in this game, it was nice to see SofM adapt, play more with his bottom lane. We saw a better draft come in. We didn't get the Aphelios Thresh, which we were kind of like, you know, this kind of outdated. Picking it into the Kalista as well, who has such an easy time in the early game against that pick. They bring out the Kalista. They do well. They're putting all the attention. Their Angel just winning out in the 1v1 with his own matchup. And remember that Shanks picked the Corki into him. Like Shanks chose to go into that matchup, wasn't able to hold it together. And in the top side, I mean, you also blinded Gnar knowing that TheShy could probably go back to this. So it feels like WE kind of setting themselves up for failure in this game. And then overall, right, I mean, Weibo came in as the favorite. WE, maybe a team who can show more than what they did in spring was kind of what we highlighted coming into the day, but still very new. I think it's going to take time before it is able to come together, if it does at all. So, yeah, I kind of feel like we got a lot of what we expected today from WE, but maybe a bit more from Weibo in terms of their adaptation in Game 3.
But we also got 3 games in a row that were stomps. You know, Weibo Gaming Game 1 over in 22 minutes, Game 2 over in 27 by WE standards with the Fed Kalista. Game 3, similar vein. Big Kalista, but kind of ended through, you know, Weibo Gaming throwing, and then WE feeling confident to get outside the base, and then we went back to the basics of what we knew about that final game. So, I don't know. That was very perplexing for me, considering that IG vs Top Esports, Lyric, I feel like we could have talked about that all day. We could break that down. We could look at why IG lost, how IG found flavor in the games, Top Esports as well.
Yeah.
Like, this series was just strange to me because it was early game stomp, and you know, it was kind of done at 10 minutes for all 3 games.
Yeah, exactly, right? We kind of got halfway through and we're just kind of like, huh, dads,
Yep.
BoJack Horseman, refrigerators.
Yep.
And it's, you know, it's where could you go from there? As now we're going to wait to see our stats, our damage numbers come up on the screen. You know, I expect damage numbers for all 3 lanes to be quite high in terms of how the laning phases went.
True.
And we've kind of even already hit on schedules. Again, Weibo having another test coming up in RNG,
Yep.
and WE having a bit of a lighter load against TT, and hopefully a series where they can look to pick it up. And heck, TT are going to feel the same way, right? Both teams are going to look at that series and think like, hey, this is one we have to win.
Weibo Gaming versus RNG will be good. Will be real good on that note as well. Looking forward to that one. That's on Tuesday next week. And I am not casting it. I'm casting it.
That's my next work day.
Hey, okay. League of Legends does not work. How dare you say that? Hey, Huanfeng has 10k damage for a pretty fed Kalista. That's not much.
Right, I mean, he got all of his damage done in the early game. Once we got to mid-game, it was all about Angel and TheShy popping off. Huanfeng would have to get in harm's way to really dish anything on. Heck, I mean, once we got past a certain point, right, it was, you know, don't insult him. Once we got past a certain point, it was really just WE kind of running into the loving arms of Weibo Gaming.
You know, all this talk about Angel, and, you know, I got a little bit religious there, even though I'm not. In-game. And then you start saying, you start saying heck, and, oh, my ears. You know, we have 12-year-olds who view this lyric. We have 12-year-olds who are trying to learn about the meta so they can be the next Faker, or the next TheShy, or the next...
I fear for any
Rookie.
12-year-olds who listen to us. So, you know,
Hey,
hopefully
we
they
keep it
don't.
PG. They're okay. With parental guidance, they can. And to be fair, when I used to cast Rocket League and League of Legends in OC consistently, you know, I remember I got a message from some dads saying that they watched League of Legends with their